Yeah, look at it. So as I'm walking to the bus stop, crossing the street, these two cops, NY Predators Department officers, showed up walking across the street. When they see me, they basically stood up at the corner, right where the traffic light is at, and turned around and staring at me. I'll tell you, they always they always tried. Oh, by the way, they were also looking at the park. There's a park a block away, so they both turned and started looking in that direction at the park. So what happened? Everybody talking about the threat that they made to my mom, right? When I was playing Call of Duty Cold War Zombies, with the guy come in there with the name, gamer tag. I said nursing home on fire, something like that, right? These sorts of subliminal threats because they were going to move my mom to a nursing home. So yeah, this is the sort of things that they do. And then them looking at the park now. When I was going to you guys see it, I should upload the video. When I did a Google search how to get to the hospital, basically, they gave me the stop to get off at, which is the wrong stop. It's too far a stop because they wanted me to walk. That's what they wanted me to do, a whole lot of walking. These things cause micro injury, right? So if you have a bad back or a bad leg or anything like that, and you do all that sort of walking, it basically causes you micro injury. So they know, and I know, right? There ain't nothing that they haven't done that I don't know about, right? In terms of how they use science to manipulate us to as a weapon against us, right? The environmental science, technological science, biological science, psychological science, everything they weaponize against us. So I talk about these things, right? The micro damage that they cause, where over a period of time, it accumulates into something that's bigger, right? So it doesn't just happen naturally right away. They mask it over a period of time, right? And again, you can look at it with the early deaths of black people, right? How we're put on the stress, either be from work, economic stress, and not having proper medical care, medical services. So we may live 60 years, 65 years, but we're not living, the majority not living past the average death of people in America, particularly white, other groups of people. We die the youngest, particularly as black men. And when you start to see, particularly black men in their 50s, early 50s, middle, late 50s, who are having all sorts of issue, prostate issue, cancer, heart issue, right? Yeah, that's the cause. Them. The weaponizations of many different things. All right, so when you understand that, you got to understand the science. This is what we tend to not want to know, because they made us into believers, right? Not people that know, not scientifically critical thinkers, right? But believers, okay? And so, that's the hole in our mind. I was listening to Dr. Ananera. Anyway, she's a black woman from Africa. She's a diplomat, or was a diplomat, and she was giving a speech, and she said, the one thing that they have done to us as black people, particularly these white races and these Arab races, is using religion, using Christianity, using Islam to capture our minds, to manipulate our minds, right? While they, while they think scientifically, yeah, they may be believers, but they don't really believe what they claim to believe. It's a facade. It's those that are in power using religion to control the masses. And as black people, they have turned every other group against us because they know that we we gave them the history because, they came from us, right? So everything they try to take away from us, whether it be in Africa, whether it be Egypt, Kemet, that they have co-opted and lie and claim as their own, it's for money, for profit, right? You go to their museums, it's all full up of African artifacts, black people artifacts, right? The majority of it, African artifacts. So they profit off of our history. As I said, they profit off of us, whether it be music, art, today, social media. You look at TikTok, for example, when black people were doing all these dances, they weren't getting paid. As soon as white people start copying it, they were getting paid. They were making millions. Okay, had millions of subscribers. Whereas black people, no, But again, they, like I said, they've made themselves to be our natural predators. But they've always profited off of us. I got to debate on Facebook. We had these Arabs trying to disparage black people for saying ancient Kemet was a black civilization, and they know this. They are historical, not only just historical evidence, but they are white scholars, archaeologists who even said that, right? And so I was watching Anthony Burr. He's talking about a book called Ancient Civilization, Ancient Times. Okay, a book which was written in 1919, he said, but I actually found in the edition from 1914, where it talks about, that they knew that the ancient Egyptians were black people. They say brown-skinned people, but look, I'm brown-skinned, I'm black, right? So, and it's not the Arabs, but brown skin. You look at Arabs from 200 years ago, they were black. You see a lot of them were black. The majority of them were black. But again, the Europeans and the Arabs and Asians have went on a whitewashing over the past 300 years to whitewash their population, just as in Brazil, just as, though that never worked in Brazil, but Portugal it worked, So they've engaged in a long history of whitewashing them, their other people's culture and even the people, right? To increase their population. But they all seem to forget that they all came from the black man and the black woman, okay? And they cannot dispute that, right? And so that's one thing we have to understand and know. Not just believe, but because they know. They don't believe that, they know that, okay? Despite the lies that they tell you, they know that. They only tell the lies because they know that we're going to believe it, because they've made us into believers, okay? So we got to understand that. So like I said, even though I'm a TI, I talk about this because my TI platform is the one that I use the most. I do have other platforms, but those take a lot of work in terms of gathering information, the truth, and then put it into a format that I need to put it in. I can't escape the fact that I'm a TI and experiencing the life of a TI. So that becomes very difficult because sometimes I tend to interject that into those discussions. But I'd rather do it the other way. I'd rather use my TI platform, not just to educate TIs, but to also educate TIs who have been lied to about history. Other people have been lied to about history. Like I said, I know they watch my videos, I know they watch my videos. So, educating them on the truth also. And making people understand that the deception game is a game that they've been playing for hundreds of years, thousands of years, and the lies and the lying game, thousands of years. So it ain't nothing new, like I said. But we tend to be, we as black people in America and in the Western Hemisphere, also in Africa, I should say, also all over, we tend to be more believers than actual having the vast majority of us being critical thinkers, being more scientific in our way of thinking, evaluating, producing, creating, right? So the vast majority of people today, particularly black people, are very more creative. We've always been creative. That's just naturally within us, you know. But also scientific, the thinking and ways of being is also natural within us. But they have suppressed that. They have suppressed that by using religion and technology, right? And psychology. Anyhow, I'll talk to you guys in the next video.